would you like to improve your health and keep your family safe? You're listening to the Healthy Home Hacks podcast, where we firmly believe enjoying optimal health shouldn't be a luxury. Healthy Home Authorities and husband and wife team Ron and Lisa will help you create a home environment that will level up your health. It's time to hear from the experts. Listen in on honest conversations and gain the best tips and advice. If you're ready to dive in and improve your well-being and increase your energy, you're in the right place. All right, here are your hosts, biobiologists, authors, media darlings, vicarious vegans, and avocado aficionados, Ron and Lisa Veris.
This episode of Healthy Home Hacks is brought to you by Veris Residential, a forward-thinking and socially responsible real estate investment trust that provides holistically inspired, Class A multifamily properties that meet the sustainability-conscious lifestyle needs of today's residents. It's the company's mission to serve properties, people, and the planet. Veris Residential has done the work to integrate eco-friendly amenities into its properties so that you can reduce your carbon footprint simply by walking through the doors. The company's newest development, House 25 in Jersey City, features source hydro panels, an advanced renewable technology that uses solar power to extract net zero water from the air. 24 electric vehicle Blink IQ 200 charging stations, 375 bike parking spaces, Wi-Fi enabled thermostats, Energy Star appliances, and 37,000 square feet of gardens and outdoor amenities, including a green roof. Visit house25.com or verisresidential.com to learn more.
The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Robert Swan.
Hey friends, and welcome back to part 2. In the last episode, we took a peek into how you can rent an environmentally friendly property, covering everything from sustainability, something called a WELL Health and Safety Rating certification, and even green leases. Today, we're diving deeper into green living to shed light on what a green lease lifestyle looks like at a sustainable property.
We're back with Karen Cusmano from Veris Residential Inc., a forward-thinking, socially responsible REIT that provides sustainable multifamily living experience for residents. Karen Cusmano is Senior Vice President, Head of Sustainability and ESG, with the job of spearheading the company's ambitious sustainability goals. And today, we're talking about ways that renters take advantage of eco-friendly amenities once they've signed the green lease. Welcome to the show, Karen.
Woohoo! Welcome back, Karen.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, we are so happy to have you. It was such an insightful conversation, and we are going to pick this up where we left off. So let's dive right in. So Karen, what does the concept eco-friendly amenities mean at your properties?
Well, there's just so many that we're piloting in our different buildings. And, sometimes it can sound like really boring. And we're just really excited about it. And things like, EV chargers are becoming really, really big over on the Northeast here. I'm assuming over in your area.
So many.
It's already.
So many, yeah.
So I am an EV driver, and I am constantly, I have, always like charge anxiety. I have range anxiety. I have it all. And then
really,
I had
that's
both.
Interesting.
I had like 11% and I get to my charger and the charger was broken. So we feel that it's very important that our residents are able to, if they want an EV vehicle, that they can actually come to our building. And a lot of charging happens, when you're at home, you want to charge. And so it's one very big thing that we're dealing with at our buildings, and just figuring out how to keep our residents happy. And when you come home and you want to charge, like that you have the charger there and you're not pulling up and going, oh no, someone's there, and freaking out. So EV charging is important. We use green cleaning products through they seal throughout the building. We have vertical farms at our buildings, which is very urban buildings with a vertical farm. So
what kind of things do you grow, Karen, in the vertical farm?
Gosh, we grow basil and cilantro. So we have a lot of herbs. We grow just regular lettuce. We do some bok choy and some like all different things. We probably harvest about 150 pounds of produce a month.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Well, how much wall space is this for 150 pounds?
So we actually had I would say it was an old retail unit that it just wasn't leasing, and we felt that we could do something better with it. So we've like redesigned and taken that old retail that was doing nothing. It has, storefront, people can walk by.
That's really cool.
There's branding, there's advertising. They're teaching people like doing this, like it's 30% faster than regular produce. So, and our residents get to come down and they work with our farmer. It adds to the social too, because they actually can come and, bring their children down. And in an urban environment, some children haven't had a farm or something, actually seeing something grow like that. So we're really excited about that.
That is amazing.
No need for a farmer's market. You just go downstairs.
Right. You just go downstairs and there's no transportation. It's right, from cut to plate. So we're really excited about that.
Wall to fork.
Yeah.
Wall to fork. Yeah.
Wall to fork. Forget farm to fork. So now do the residences get to take what they want? Do they pay for it? How does that work?
Yeah. So we try to keep it to like 2 bags a resident so that everyone gets to have it. And then anything that's not used, we put into a front refrigerator where they can come down and get it at any other time if they don't grab it on harvest day.
Oh, wow.
We did a slight increase in an amenity fee, less than, maybe it's like $5. So inexpensive compared to how much the produce you're getting a month, and the prices of produce and traveling there. So to have it right there. So we're really, excited about that. And the residents, come down with great stories. Like I think we did broccoli rabe one day and the resident went upstairs and made like a pasta with broccoli rabe, and she loved it so much. She ran down and was hoping the farmer was still there and brought it to the farmer and said, here, I just made this, so we're really enjoying the interaction on top of just doing something great and creating food from air and water, and minimal water usage because it just regenerates. So you lose a little to the actual produce, that water uptake and some the condensation. So, but it's really, air and LED lights that help, it grow. And it's really exciting.
Why am I drawing a blank here? What is the filter called on your roof that actually collects the water?
Source hydro panel.
Source hydro panel.
Can you ask that question, Lisa? Because I'm curious. Is that like a full, from A to C moment? Like it's fueling the plants that are on the wall? Is that what's going on? Are they taking the water from the solar panels?
So we would like that. But I went back to when the company that creates the hydro panels, they really want us to drink the water. But we are going to see, because we feel like that would be a great full circle moment.
Wouldn't it?
Creating our water to water our plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think that's great.
They just don't want you to. Yeah.
They really want it to be drinking water. Like that's their mission, to bring drinking water. So, but we're going to see. I mean, we do have some of our buildings like this, what do you call it, cisterns outside where you can collect water. So some of our people are like, well, let's collect the water and then bring it in. I'm like, so we're always
like a rainwater catchment system.
Catch basin and stuff. Like, what can we do?
Yeah. That is a full circle moment. Wow. Then you'll have a community dinner and then everyone can make food and bring it with
we talked about that. Like
have
coming in, like with marketing, like can they all come down with something that they've harvested, the basil, make some pesto and let's have a dinner.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
I love that.
A monthly dinner.
Is it seasonal? Like, for example, like the different vegetables that you're picking from your wall? Is it like, okay, this is lettuce season? Or
how does that work if it's inside?
The residents can ask for things. So we do find basil and cilantro are some of the favorites and lettuce, but there's certain, we're trying to stick to the green lettuce, like not tomatoes. We're not doing fruit bearing yet. We might want to, but they just take longer to grow. And this is just so much faster. So they do so many different things, so we ask the residents are always asking our farmer, can you get this next time? So, it's varying produce and herbs.
That's a good point. Doesn't lettuce take like a few weeks to grow?
This is pretty much once a month we're harvesting.
Okay, so that must be it. Yeah.
We harvest once a week. So we move, so they go from seedling and then we have they're towers. They're actually like towers with all these little, where the roots go into the water and they just grow from water and light, no dirt.
Wow.
No soil.
No soil.
Oh, wow.
So that helps with not having the soil also. Mm-hmm. I didn't tell the whole story. So
it's kind of incredible. Wow. It's amazing technology and like what we can do now. You guys are really innovative with all of this. So you've got LED is the common space areas. Is that all LED lighting? And
we do LED. Very important. We find, the motion sensors too. So when you walk into our garage, they'll be on like very low. And then as you walk, it'll brighten up. You feel like you have superpowers. Like the lights get brighter as you walk through the garage.
Now that's a really good example we talked about in the last episode of, what are the things that you can do that really aren't going to feel like an inconvenience to you at all, but are going to make a big impact. That's such a great example with the lighting. I think about that a lot in hotels because people will leave the lights on when they leave the room. And I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, I know you're not paying that bill, but in a way you are, because if it costs the hotel more money, that they're going to pass on that to, the customers. So
I like the ones that you have to put your room key in.
Yeah.
Do you ever go in a hotel where you have to put the room key in or else the lights don't go on? That was when I did my first one. I was like, what? None of the lights are working in this room.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, I forgot to put my key in the slot.
Yeah, that's just like common sense.
But you have to do that for someone to shut off the lights when they leave.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's great. And then you've got Energy Star appliances, you've got Wi-Fi thermostats, water optimized toilets and showers. So you guys like in the umbrella of this eco-friendly amenities. And then we talked last time about the Source hydro panels. And you just tell us like real quick again, for someone who didn't tune into that episode, just real quick what they do.
Yes. So the Source hydro panels, they're on our roof and they work through solar, and the solar makes a fan run that actually pulls in just air. And as the air is going over this fan, the water vapors are kind of like sucked out onto like thing that absorbs water, and the water vapor goes into, we actually have a pipe system. So it just goes into our pipe system and actually is going into our water fountains in our gym. So it just pipes down to our water fountain in our gym. And we're creating about 1.2 gallons of water a day.
And that's filtered water. That's also filtered too, as it goes to
mineralized.
Mineralized.
They say mineralized. Okay. It's probably filtered too, but it's definitely mineralized to, make sure it's drinkable and tastes good. And it's, net zero. I mean, it's just water out of air, sun and air.
Pretty incredible.
Water out of air.
How big is each panel that goes on the roof? To make the 1.2 gallons, this is a giant panel or is it kind of small?
We have 15 of them. So I'm thinking they're not too big. I mean, we have 15 panels in our roof area on that building. It's 108 units, that building. So we don't have a large roof area.
Interesting. Wow.
So that's interesting. You don't need
exactly
a large.
I would have to guess. I'd have to go look at the specs again.
Yeah.
We're really good at with solar in California area, but we need to add these too because we have some water issues here. So that'd be nice to incorporate for sure.
Well, are the Source hydro panels limited to commercial spaces, or you're not necessarily commercial, but are they available to just residences, like individual single home? Do you know? I was just curious.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone having this. Don't know.
Well, if not, it probably will be, right?
Probably will be.
Oh, I'm sure that they want to be out there.
Yeah.
And then like even with water, like we were talking about silly things, water and like the aerators or like low flow. One of the things we were talking about this is the green lease and the sustainable living. We've actually have residents that they come in and they're like, oh, take that off and put, so we say, please don't take off. They're for a reason. They're going to help. And some of these aerators now are so well that even though it's low flow, the aerator actually makes it feel powerful.
You don't notice a difference in power pressure. Well, we have a Moen, I think it's a shower head. It has their patented technology, I think, built in where it feels so strong, but it is actually a low flow, but you cannot tell. It's a rainfall. What do you call it? Rainfall, those big round ones.
Right. Yeah.
That style. And it's like a luxurious experience. You would never know that had a low flow aerator in it.
But then, I mean, let's talk about toilets, the fun things, but like even just the flushometer, we've looked into this thing where it'll stop leaks. And I did some research before we were doing this. Do we want to spend all this money? And leaks, you could lose about approximately like 90 gallons of water with just a leak in a toilet. And, the EPA, if you go to their site, EPA.gov, says that we lose about 1 trillion gallons of water in household leaks.
Wow. 1 trillion?
That can't be real, but that's what it said.
Holy moly.
So if you think approximately 90 gallons a day, if you have a decent sized leak in your faucet, and all you have to do is, go on and figure out, like, it's probably your flapper. You just go on and do it yourself, change your flapper.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And leaks, obviously, that's going to create a whole nother slew of problems with potential mold and right? All kinds of issues.
And to think that you have to ask someone like report a leak because, some of our residents aren't paying for their water. Some of them are, but so if you're paying for it, you think you would say, hey, I have a leak.
Yeah, right.
I can see the people that aren't paying for it. So it's little things that you just, and again, this would be like a little blurb that monthly I would send out to a resident and say, hey, did you know that you could waste 90 gallons of water with a leak, and then the impact on the whole, so little reminders, micro reminders here and there, I think are key to everything that we do. And that's part of an amenity I would say that we give is the awareness. And we're going to help you. You want to do the right thing. You want to be sustainability focused and you want to do the right thing. And we're going to do what we can to help you with amenities, plus a little awareness. Hope we're not getting too annoying with them, but we think they're cute. We try to give
for sure.
You guys, you had like an ice cream sandwich party in one of your community spaces on a day that there was like, hey, let's lower the temperature because, there's a high usage at this moment, but we're going to have an ice cream sandwich party, so you definitely do things to make it.
We try. And we were hoping at that point, we actually have you can actually see, because we have the interval data on our meters, we wanted to be able to show our residents, and we're going to do it someday, come down and have the ice cream social, which we did, but we want to be able to show a screen. Look at what we're doing. We went from 10,000 kilowatts now, and you could actually see it go from red to green. And we wanted to be able to show that impact. We are going to do it.
No, that's great.
Really, what kind of impact would that be? Like they're sitting there, they're having their ice cream. We've asked everyone, the state had put out, or the utility puts out a demand response saying that the grid is taxed right now. When the grid is the most taxed, it's the dirtiest. The greenhouse gas emissions, CO2 emissions are worse. So if we can just all shift the power at that time and then just use our power. So we really want to be able, that's where they're going to really get the impact when they see, look at what we just did. We went from here and they're going to see it on a screen. So that's what we're looking forward to do. And
seeing is believing. I know. Yeah.
We did it. You need to see. I really think people need to see it to believe. Look at what we're doing right now. And I think so. We're excited to be able to do that next summer.
Wow.
That's great.
Impressive. Well, Karen, many of your buildings are rated a walker's paradise, which sounds amazing. But what does that actually mean?
So a walker's paradise means that, someone can go outside and they don't have to get in a car, and they'll have access to, we have, mass transit near us. We have light rails, we have bicycles, we work with different companies, and we actually have bike racks outside where someone can rent a bicycle and then they can take it to another rack, like maybe near the Port Authority or places to get on the train or the ferries, restaurants, supermarkets, everything is right there where you are able to walk out the door and everything's within really close, walkable.
Well, hey, Karen, true story. I was just talking to Lease. I said, we need a vacation where we can go somewhere and then have everything right there. We can relax. Don't need to drive anywhere far, but just enjoy all the amenities of this place. But it sounds like we just described Veris Residential.
Love it.
Yeah. What's more than half of your properties you would consider that have a walker's paradise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Probably even more. I'm trying right now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really important. And it's fun. It's great. And it gets you outside and you're getting the fresh air.
We're dabbling in at one of our buildings. And I feel like this is something that some people hate, some people love, the scooters. However, it's scooter, just you have to have a dock. It's not the scooter where you leave our property, you can throw it down the street anywhere you want. It's a scooter where, some of our residents, again, you might not have the room for a bicycle or something. So they can go outside, get on the scooter, and then maybe we'll put another rack where they have to put the scooter back, but it'll be near the ferry station or the PATH station or some sort of mass transit.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
So we're piloting that at one building.
That's really cool. Why wouldn't they want a scooter? That seems, especially in New York City, I would think that would be very popular.
Well, with the bicycles and the scooters, you're afraid of the liability of someone going outside. It's scary, and
watch out for those taxis.
Yeah, it's a little crazy on the streets.
Right.
Oh, I have the stat here. I just realized 70% of your wholly owned residential properties have a walk score of 85 or more.
Right.
Right. And I guess there's the scoring mechanism. So 70% or more. Wow. That's great.
That's great. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's really cool. Do you see a lot of electric bikes in your area? We see so many here.
Yeah, I don't for electric, but we do have a lot of bicycles. And like I said, we actually have bicycle storage in our building. So if people want their own, House 25, it's a 750 unit building. We have 360 bike rack storage areas. So
oh, wow.
To, every other apartment, right?
Yeah.
But we do also have the ones that people can just go outside our building, grab the bicycle, ride it to another station and drop it off. So
how do they get that? Do they have like a combo that all the residents get or a card to scan?
You would sign up for it. It would be a service.
Oh, okay.
Sign up through the company that,
They have to pay for that? I'm just curious. Or is
So we have a relationship with City Bike. So you'll see a lot of people driving around City Bike bicycles.
Yeah. But that's like an extra service they pay for, or is that included as being?
They would do it on their own.
Oh.
We would let them know that it's out there and it's available.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Like right outside our building, and they would sign up.
Nice.
And get a code to use it.
Okay. Very cool. Very different. I know we're in California. We don't. Yeah. We drive. We drive places. We like our cars.
But they will all be EV soon. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 2030, right? So Karen, when we think of green living, a lot of people think of it being kind of crunchy, granola, but you're making these eco-friendly features sound so high tech. Are there any non-glamorous aspects to the sustainable features that you offer?
The biggest thing is trash, right? It's not glamorous. It's glamorous about trash. And we are piloting at a couple of our buildings, composting. Nothing new, right? But you think about it in a multifamily situation, we have enough trouble just getting regular garbage taken care of. Is it going in the right chute? Are they putting cardboard in the right place? So we're taking on composting, hoping that, some of our residents will enjoy this. And people worry about the smell and will it attract, things that we don't want in our buildings, but we feel like it's very important. Probably, I would say, think about different statistics you look at, like 50% of trash is probably compostable. So we feel like it's really important and to give our residents the ability to do this. So there will be a bin near our regular garbage. We're going to try to decorate it and make it really cool area. And the resident will keep, have it a little small, however they want, and we'll give them ideas and tips of where to go to buy the container to store their scraps and, see how that goes. I mean, we're excited about it.
Yeah.
And here goes another full circle. We do have like community farms. Other than the urban towers that we talked about, we do have some like green roofs and we have community farms on some of our roofs. So it's like, wouldn't it be great if someday we could take the dirt that was created from the composting from our buildings and give it back and use it in our gardens?
Oh yeah.
So always looking for those full circle moments.
Yeah.
Things like that.
That's really cool.
Trash. The trash is not glamorous.
Yeah, it's not glamorous, but it's so important. And I noticed that you have recycling for batteries and mercury lamps and things like that, which is so important, because we are big recyclers here. And I mean, Ron and I laugh. Our recycle bin is 3 times bigger than our actual trash bin. We have 2 bins and the recycle bin is always the overflowing one. That's
the big one. It always struck me a long time ago when I heard that printing cartridges, for example, take 450 years to biodegrade, right? And so I had this giant container, probably had 100 printing cartridges from all these years. I never took it in because the local store stopped doing this recycle program. So I held it. And finally, I went to Best Buy and I was like, yes, they can do it. It was a little further away from my home. I don't normally go there as often. So I was really proud of myself. I was being very Veris Residential-like.
Yeah, no, it's true because a lot of people will just say, oh, forget it. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to drop this stuff off. And they'll just throw it in the trash out of convenience for them and unawareness. I don't know about there, but we have household hazardous waste drop-offs, but they're not necessarily close. Yeah, they're hard to find. People don't know where they are. And we all end up with this e-waste and all of this kind of waste that a lot of people don't know what to do with. They know not to put it in the recycle bin. So they end up throwing it in the trash. And batteries. So all the stuff just ends up in the landfill,
For sure. Well, Karen, Veris Residential, the website actually talks about biodiversity. And when I think of an apartment building, I just envision a concrete building.
Right.
I'm wondering what biodiversity means to Veris Residential.
So I think we mentioned some of the green roofs and then the urban towers, the plantations. We also just recently, so excited, we got our first 2 beehives.
Oh, wow.
So
fantastic.
We're really excited about this. We're going to have 70,000 bees.
Oh, wow.
And
each hive has 35,000?
Yeah, that's what they're telling me. I need to check the stats, but that's what I've been told. And at the building. So they could go, I think they said about a 3-mile radius, they'll leave and they'll go around our properties. So we do have some community garden. We do have a community garden where those bees will be. So we're hoping they'll go out and pollinate. And then I guess we get a lot of information with the pollinate, when they pollinate and they come back and they bring, and we'll be able to give our residents honey. And, one of my community managers, when I told her about this, she said, Karen, do you know my family are beekeepers? Like, that's what we've done.
Oh, wow.
And she told me this great story, and I'm sure people know about this, but she said that when she moved to New Jersey, her allergies were like crazy, like her hay fever, and she was crazy. And her father said, Ergo, we need a beehive. So I was like, what? She's like, yes. She started eating the honey from the beehive and her allergies went away.
Oh,
right.
wow.
I've heard of that.
Wow.
So it's exciting things, but it does a lot. So we're really excited about, I'm hoping they're docile bees. That's what we've been told.
Not killer bees. Not killer bees.
They're not killing.
That's a
They're
good
docile
thing.
bees. So, we want these great things that we're doing to be well received. So, we let the residents know about it. We're going to make it like a community event where we're going to put a camera and the residents can watch the beehive.
A live cam.
Name the queen bee and just make it be a community type, experience.
That is really neat.
And then we'll be able to give out the honey as gifts, like as a resident gifts, move-in gifts. Like once it starts producing honey, you can make, I think, chaps, like,
everything.
lip balm and all that stuff. And we're really excited. And then, we did mention at the, one of our properties and a few of our properties, we're going to be doing the towers, the vertical vegetation towers. We have the green roof. So
it's like you have an edible building.
Yeah.
One-stop shop. Do your Christmas shopping. Also beeswax candles, right? Beeswax candles are really good. And there's so much you can do there. Yeah.
So, it's important to, so biodiversity to us is like creating, like, I guess, regenerating, if you take it, like I get, when people say about sustainability, I'm at a point where I start thinking we're more getting towards regenerate. Like we need to reuse, recycle, regenerate.
Going beyond.
The new art. Yeah.
Not enough sometimes, I'm starting to think. So I'm worried.
Where will the beehives go? Will they be like?
So they're on a roof setback, so they're away from our residents.
Okay.
And then the beekeeper will come every once in a while and check on them. And then, we're concerned, here we go again, about the cold weather. How will our bees handle this season? And apparently there's something, they all get together and they go around the queen and they create, they make it very warm in there. So.
Oh, really?
They said up to 90 degrees. Again, I have to.
Wow.
They keep it warm.
Wow. Yeah. They're kind of incredible little creatures. Obviously, they're responsible for 1/3 of our food through their pollination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what was that stat too? As far as being an indestructible animal or being, right? There's they'd be one of the top 5 insects or animals that would survive in a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Because they're just
cockroaches,
built
bees.
cockroaches and bees. And
they would, they say they would even survive. I don't know. Nuclear? Is that right?
I think I've heard that too. I don't know how true that is. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cockroaches probably survive anything.
Yeah. But when we develop, we really like to think about the whole community that we're going into. And when we did the House 25, we actually built a school. So there's a school connected to our building because for a school in the city, and we worked with the town and for zoning. And so we really try to think about what we're doing and how we're transforming the whole community that it's going into and thinking about it holistically and not just about Veris.
The school is attached.
So
oh, wow. The kids don't even have to get on transportation.
I don't know if there's a way to get in from there, but it's right up against our building. And, so when we think, biodiversity, it's creating with the bees and the pollinating and the green roofs and the, just creating a community and,
You're creating employment too. Teachers, beekeepers.
That's great.
Too.
Yeah. Beekeepers. In your hydroponic tower gardens, I read also grow non-GMO chemical-free lettuce and herbs. So that's really incredible too. You don't need to be spraying all those pesticides when they're grown like that inside. So the Veris residential tagline is properties, people, and the planet. And we didn't really talk about the people part that much thus far. Veris Residential actually scores very well in the social aspect of its public ratings. What does this mean for your relationship with your residents?
So I would say for us, we say properties, people, planet. People, we couldn't do any of this without people. And it is so important. I'm thinking the awareness. So educating the people is very important to us, our employees and our residents. I think making a community where we just recently did an event with St. Jude, like a 5K, and we asked our residents to join us. Like, we want you to be part of what we're doing and make things easy for them to be, if they want to be philanthropic and do things, like we're trying to make it easy for them to do that. So we work with, in Jersey City, the Boys and Girls Club, and we donated land to them to actually create a garden. So it's about being part of the community and, diversity and our suppliers. And it's making sure that just making it better and for everybody. And, our community and the people in our community are very important to us, and our residents are part of that. And the people who are not our residents. So, just doing events. We do Habitat for Humanity. Love it. I think I was spackling one day and stuff. You don't even realize like these little, and it makes you feel so good. Like when I leave there, I'm like, I feel so good. I can't wait to do it again. And we try to breed that, bring our residents into it. And so that is really, really important to us to be a holistic, we're just not your landlord.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know you guys give back a lot and plant trees as well, 4 times a year, I believe, which is so great. And, I was thinking about Ron's mom and dad live in Florida and they're retired and they live in like multifamily housing there as well. And the community is like amazing and they make it look so fun. They're always doing something. Your dad's playing croquet, your mom's doing the book club, they're doing this, they always have something going on. They're like more active than ever. And I was thinking, like, as you were speaking, how incredibly important that is, not just as you age, but even say a single person who's, renting one of your properties, who's like, hey, I really want to feel a sense of community and not feel isolated. They can go and take part in these events. And it's really neat, because why do you limit that to like a certain age group?
And also sometimes when we do events, like we say, we're going to throw in a little sustainability, but they won't even know. Like we've done an event. This was an internal event we did with us. And so we have to do it with the residents, where we had a company. She's a shoemaker and she uses grapes, and she, in Italy, uses grapes and stuff to make leather out of grapes and the skins and stuff. And then the wine. So we did like this event where she talked about sustainability of making these shoes. And then we had wine from this great vineyard that was also sustainable. And, it was a fun event, and nobody knows they were also learning while they were there.
Yeah, right.
Make it fun.
Right.
We try, when we do things, we did an event with, the World Wildlife
Foundation.
And we did like a panda, we did a zoo thing where our residents got to sit and, go out through the zoo and learn about how it was saving and how they were saving species and stuff like that. So we try to do things fun, but then also little educational awareness element to things.
Yeah. Always have like a little sustainable angle.
Yeah.
Do any of your properties have any kind of restaurant or coffee shop or anything like that on site?
Yes. So most of them have a retail portion on the lower level.
Oh, that's
try to get, whether we have some yoga, some daycare, restaurants. So we try to make sure, again, back to that Walker's Paradise, that it's all right there. When you leave the building, you can take your children to daycare, you could go do yoga, you could go get your coffee. So yes, we definitely have that in our lower levels of our buildings.
It's very different than the West Coast. It's just we don't have, although I'm starting to see more and more multifamily kind of units pop up, and that concept is becoming more popular here, but it really wasn't even not that long ago. You had just single family homes and condos and townhomes and a lot of that. I know people really like feeling that everything's there. We don't have to get in the car and drive 30 minutes to drop the kid off at school or, get a coffee or whatever.
Or visit a beehive.
Or get a beehive or grab your lettuce.
Grab your lettuce.
Exactly. Well, this was so awesome, Karen. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. And remember, friends, sustainability is a lens through which we view every decision, every action, every day. You can learn more about Veris Residential and use their property locator tool to find the greenest rental property on the block at verisresidential.com. And that's VERIS residential.com.
Excellent. We'll have all the links in the show notes at ronalisa.com/podcast. And if you missed part 1 of this conversation, you're not going to want to, be sure to tune into last week's podcast where we discussed how to rent an environmentally friendly apartment. And until next time, get ready to up-level your health and heal our planet. See you then. Bye.
Bye, Karen. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Karen.
This episode of the Healthy Home Hacks podcast has ended, but be sure to subscribe for more healthy living strategies and tactics to help you create the healthy home you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content. See you on the next episode.